Hello, my name is Jacob Toddson, and welcome back to the Wisdom of Odin. Today we're going to be talking about the triple god or goddesses, or the triptych, and how this applies to the ancient past, but also how it's something that might be beneficial for you today if you're a practicing pagan. If you've never been to my channel before, I have a wide variety of videos. I have documentary style videos, I have videos that are like 4 minutes long, I have videos about festivals around the world, and more historical deep dives, more looks at neo-paganism, so there's a wide variety of content here. But this video is not one I typically kind of make often, but I hope you enjoy it regardless. This is definitely going to be a rambly video, but this is something I'm working on in my mind right now. And so we're benefiting each other. I'm going to work through this with you throughout this video, and then hopefully you can add to the discussion, share your thoughts with it down below. I'm not pretending like I know 100% the truth here, but I want to share my thoughts on triple gods and goddesses and how it might affect us today. There's not much to prove to you. Normally I have the history section to kind of be like, here's the backbone for why this is a thing. This is legitimate. I can tell you that it originates even before the times of ancient Rome. It was very prominent in the Roman times. It was prominent during the Celtic era. And there's even evidence of it existing within Scandinavia. And not to mention, as Christianity evolved, it took on the aspect of the Holy Trinity. And so the aspect of three is something that's very sacred and goes back for thousands of years, and it's not just from one culture. If I can find it out, I'll put it right here, what the origin of it was, what the first mentioning of it was, but it just seems like the number 3 is a very holy and sacred number. Now, people who watch this channel who are more into the Celtic side of things are definitely going to be more used to this concept than people who are following the Norse side of things. And that is just because in the triple goddess setup, or the triple deity setup within the Celtic belief system, often they are evolutions of the same being. And the easiest way to look at this is actually from the Greek with the maiden, the mother, and the crone when it comes to the fates. But then again, it's very easy to transcribe that, which is often what happens, into the Norns. And the Norns' names also allude to this maiden, mother, crone relationship of being the youngest, the middle-aged, and then the oldest. But what is the main takeaway? What should you take away from the fact that there are triple goddess or triple god setups? And I think it's because 3 is a very balancing number. I mean, you have tripods in photography, right? My camera is on a tripod right now. Tripods are very balancing. The American political system is set up with 3 houses of government because it's seen as more balancing, which is also why we need more than 2 parties to choose from, just saying. And so the number 3 is just a very balancing aspect, both in the literal sense, but also I think within the spiritual sense. And this is what I really want to dive into with this video, is the fact that the number 3 and following the number 3 and the triple setup, I think is going to be a very balancing thing for people getting into a polytheistic religion for the first time. So let me just get to the meat and potatoes of why I think this would be beneficial to you. Why I'm thinking about it, why I'm making this kind of half-ass rambly video, is because I have been reflecting on deity worship now that I've been actively sharing my pagan journey over 5 years now on YouTube, which is absolutely insane. After 5 years, my relationship with what gods are and deities are has definitely shifted and changed quite a bit. And I feel like I have been kind of following Odin and the Odinic way for a very long time. And that's why I sold everything. That's why I started traveling the world as a sacrifice and a dedication to Odin. It's been wonderful. I've learned so much. And I'm still learning so much from this Odinic path. But I have felt like I wanted to open myself up to other gods a little bit more. And so this triple setup gives me a way to kind of focus. And so it's like, okay, I'll make Odin one of the triple gods I'm focusing on. And then let me choose 2 others. Let me choose Jord. I'm going to choose the earth goddess because I do want to worship something that is feminine. I have been following Odin for so long. I need to mix it up a little bit. I need to add some feminine energy into there. So Jord, the earth goddess, is something I connect with every single day. And then I was thinking of a third. I'm like, you know what? I want to work with Thor more. This is someone I think a lot of people kind of glaze over because he's kind of the dude bro god. And so I kind of want to focus on Thor and maybe his aspects that aren't quite so dude bro. And so this is a triple setup, but then I start thinking about it. This is a family setup. It's Odin, Jord, who are the parents of Thor. So this is kind of still a triple setup. It's not one we classically know necessarily. We don't find any examples of this outside of knowing that this is a relationship. But there's so many different examples of this that you can look into. Perhaps even Njord, Freyr, and Freya. That's another one you can do. And then there's also the triple setup of Uppsala. There is Thor, Odin, and Freyr. And then this is when I get a little kooky. This is what I've been really thinking about here this morning, which I really desperately need a coffee. Uppsala, it is said that there are 3 statues, Thor, Odin, and Freyr. But what if these are all evolutions of the same being, and is more traditional setup, more like the Celtic gods? If you think about it, Thor is a little bit more of a younger version of Odin, and more of a younger god. He goes around, he fights, he feasts, he drinks, and he is rarely home. And then you have Freyr, who's a little bit more of an evolution of that. Freyr's name just means Lord, and Freyr is said to be a good god in the sense that he is a peaceful god and reigns of peace and reigns of abundance. And so what if he represents more of the middle-aged god, the more middle-aged man, so to speak, and then Odin is more of the old one with the white beard. He's more wise, he wanders again, gathering knowledge, sharing knowledge, and is more seen as like the mysterious shamanistic figure. And so what if these are just 3 evolutions of the same concept of a god? I hope this is all making sense. It feels right in my mind, which is why I wanted to make a video. 100%, this is a rambly video, so please share your thoughts down below. I want to hear them. They're going to help me out, and hopefully we can build something together here. I like to think, I don't know many other YouTubers that talk about subject material like this in this way, because I think we're all still trying to figure it out. And I do think there's kind of this idea that all the content creators around paganism are all trying to like get this like one up on one another. And I've literally never seen it that way. I'm just a dude that talks about this. I'm sharing my ideas, my beliefs. They've morphed, they've changed, they evolved. They've been benefited by you, the viewer. And I really do see it as kind of like this collaborative thing, because we don't know the ancient past. We don't know 100% the truth. And so to think that one person knows 100% the truth is just kind of stupid. I've learned so much from other people about paganism that, like, how could I ever think that I have like the right idea about anything? I'm working with all of you to bring this back from the dead, to bring it back to life and bring new life to it. I know it's something like one of my subscribers commented that they appreciate from this channel is that I do believe in the evolution of paganism. I don't want it to go back to the historic. We're not Vikings anymore. We don't live in that time, nor should we want to live in that time. We live now. So let's look and see what we can learn from the past. Let's honor it, let's respect it, but let's let it evolve. And so that's kind of what this conversation is. Let's have an evolution of the idea of a triptych God and how it can benefit you, how it can benefit me, and how we can evolve that into the future. I don't know if you recognize this location at all, but I filmed a couple of videos here over the years, and I think the most recent one was probably a couple of years ago, before I started traveling. But the last video I filmed here was on the old gods of autumn. And so you should check that one out because I think it still holds up. And this video should be coming out around the autumn season, which is why I'm wearing my long sleeve shirt. It's still gonna be like up in the 80s later today, but I love these mornings. So that's another piece of advice that has nothing to do with the subject of this video. It's something I've been talking about for a bit now. And it's, you know, getting outside as much as you can, no matter the time of the season, because there's always moments of good. I don't like summer, but the mornings are still enjoyable. And even though now, like the time of filming this is September, and so there's still these like hot days and it's like, oh, I just want autumn to begin, but these mornings are wonderful. So get out, seize the day, enjoy the beauty of every single day, because every single day has something beautiful about it. Maybe like 1 or 2 days a year where it's like hazy and like gross or something like that. But yeah, enjoy life, enjoy the beauty of nature as much as you can. That's the other reason I'm out here filming today, is because I needed to get out, needed to enjoy this weather. So I hope you're enjoying it along with me. And after you watch this video, you're able to get outside and enjoy it for yourself. All right, so let's say that you're just getting into paganism for the first time and how this concept might benefit you, because this earlier conversation might have been a little like, whoa, what's going on here if you just got into this for the first time. So I think my advice for you, and I think this is actually pretty good advice, because most people that get into this, I think, are a little overwhelmed by the polytheism part. You know, most people go from a monotheistic religion, go from one God, maybe a couple of angels, to the idea of multiple gods. And so I think people get overwhelmed by, you know, do I worship Odin? Do I worship Thor? Do I worship Freya? Do I worship Frigg? Oh, what about Suna? What about Sol? What about all this? And then they get freaked out. And then they try to either, they backslide, and then they go back to monotheism, and they're just like, nope, I'm just gonna work with one. Not necessarily anything wrong with that, but I think one of the benefits of polytheism is that you have more than one. And so I would challenge you, especially if you're coming from a Christian background, to try to embrace the polytheistic aspect. And then there's the other side, if you try to worship too many things and then you burn yourself out because you're like, well, nothing happened because I'm trying to worship 15 gods at once. And so I think the triptych, focusing on 3, is a very powerful aspect for someone getting into this for the first time. So I would recommend to you, if you're relatively new to this, if you're trying to find something new, or if you've been into this for a while and you're looking to try something new, if you're looking to bring a new concept that might bring some different depth or just some different ideas, I recommend trying to do the triple setup. So pick 3 gods. They could be something that existed in the triptychs of the past. It could be 3 gods, 3 goddesses, doesn't matter, a mixture of both. And try to look at each one for their different aspects and how those different aspects could benefit you in your life. So if you're trying to become healthier, focusing on someone like Tyr or Thor. If you're trying to become wiser, focusing on Odin. If you're trying to become more loving, focusing on Freya or Freyr. If you're trying to become a better hunter, focusing on Ullr or Skadi, or both Ullr and Skadi. And so there really is just a lot of different combinations here. But I think focusing on 3 really could benefit you and help you out. So to kind of explore that concept a little bit more, so let's look at what I mentioned earlier. So Odin, Thor, and Jord. The reason I'm focusing on these 3, outside of the fact that I'm an Odin bitch, is the fact that Odin I connect to personally through conversation, through gaining more wisdom, and through sharing wisdom with others. And then with Jord, I connect to nature. I connect to the natural elements. And so this is a very important part of my practice as well, outside of just the spirits, but accepting the earth as our home. And so I give beer to the earth, I give small offerings to the earth, and I'm just grateful for the earth and what it provides for us. And then when it comes to Thor, like I said earlier, this is something that I'm trying to explore. He's the exploratory deity. So I went with 2 deities I feel pretty comfortable with, and then I'm going with the deity I want to explore in more depth. And so with Thor, I think in particular, I want to connect with when it comes to the aspect of community, because we do know that he's the god of the hearth as well, and he was the people's god. He was the most popular god in Scandinavia. And so that's kind of what I mean, and hopefully that gives you something to go off of, somewhere to kind of start, and a similar idea to what I'm talking about here. All right, so here we are back where we started. If you stuck around for the entirety of this video, I love you. Thank you so very much. I know this has been a bit of a rambly one, but I don't know, at the time of this releasing, let's see, this will probably be mid-October and it's mid-September. So I'm about 8 episodes ahead right now, and so I've just been in the throes of editing and writing the next book. Hopefully by the time this releases, the book is out, but that is what I've been focusing on. So I really have been burning it at both ends, and I didn't even plan on filming until I ended up back in England, which is where I'm at right now when you're watching this video. So yeah, I was really tired. This is me very tired from filming a lot of videos in a row. But this is something I really was starting to chew on, and I wanted to share with you to hear your thoughts. I made this for no other reason than to share what I've been thinking, to hear what you've been thinking, and to continue this evolution of paganism, as I discussed previously. I think the conversations I have with people, this is such a beautiful way to look at the world. Even walking around, there's so many people at this arboretum right now enjoying nature. And I truly see paganism and these beliefs as a way to truly embrace life and so many different aspects of it in such a deeper way. And I think the triptych, the triple god, the triple goddess, is one of those ways you can dive even deeper. So let me know what you think. I'm gonna hop in this car, I'm gonna get myself a delicious cup of coffee, and I'm gonna finish writing this damn book. So I'll see you in the next video here at the Wisdom of Odin. Thank you so much, and I look forward to sharing with you everything that is to come.